This is an update in the second week of the council's operation to clear up the beaches in West Norfolk following the collision of two ships off the Humber. We are looking to clear up the plastic pollution from that incident. Our open space team have been diligently walking along the coastline picking up the fused melted plastic mats, and that's what they focused on last week. That work is still ongoing. We've been out inspecting the beaches every day. After each high tide, new material has been mobilised onto that beach, and therefore the team have been out collecting them. We've seen new material at South Beach Heacham, and I also had a couple of reports of material at Hunstanton amenity beach which has been removed. Teams obviously focused on the Holme to Old Hunstanton beach, Brancaster beach and Titchwell beaches, and we're here today at Brancaster beach to look at a new method of removing the individual small nurdles through a company called Oracle. You can see some of the equipment behind and some of the returning staff. What we're trialling today is a new method of vacuuming the nurdles from the high water mark. It then goes through a screen and a trommel where they remove some of the beach material, and that's left with just the individual nurdles. So we're going to be trialling that today at Brancaster. We will then be going to Titchwell at the Bird Reserve on Thursday, and we will then be doing Old Hunstanton to Holme on Friday.
So we've been brought in to deal with the pellet contamination we're finding along all the stretches of coastlines in this area. So what we're doing is walking along the coast along with the local council and basically recovering those small individual sort of nurdles in effect. So we're looking through the strand line on that high tide mark, trying to get out those individual pieces. And then what we're doing off the back of that is then, well, using vacuum equipment. The beauty of that is basically you can lift the small pellets from the shoreline without having to take up too much of the natural debris and sand. And then from then we put it through sieves and various trommels and separation, so we can then again distill that material, so we're getting hopefully just in effect pure pellets and nurdles, and then the rest of that material we can then put back onto the shoreline to minimise environmental impact. So this is one of the sort of first instances really where an acute spill has occurred on UK shorelines that's been really sort of publicised. There've been huge incidents, back in 2021 in Sri Lanka, for example. So this is something we're trying to, raise awareness on, and the point being is obviously trying to prevent these pellet spills occurring in the first place.
The public health advice hasn't changed at the moment. We advise members of the public it's fine and it's safe to come to the beach and enjoy the environment here, but we're advising you not to pick up or touch any of the materials that you find. What we are doing is obviously sending patrols along every day to try and isolate and find them, but we are using obviously litter pickers. The staff have gloves for personal protection, so just advise us. We are looking at on a daily basis, so we know where they are. The other thing is obviously if you bring your dog to the beach, we would recommend that you keep your dog on the lead, because if the dog eats the burnt plastic mat, that might cause them some harm. So we advise you just to, as a safety precaution, to keep them on lead at the moment.